Hello and welcome to episode 184 of Nolo Time. My name is Obed Velez and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No load time. Obed, good to be with you again, my friend.
Yeah, good to see you, man. How are you?
Good, good. Back to our regular schedule. Back to the good stuff, man. I
Yeah,
mean, we had a nice extended week. And we got some good stuff to cover, so it's always good to be back with you, my friend.
yeah, definitely. I do have a few things that I want to talk about for sure, man. But what's up, dude?
Yeah, had a nice extended weekend like I mentioned, and one of the things I was able to do was to get out and see the sequel, excuse me, to A Quiet
Or
Place.
it's really good. I haven't watched the first one.
Yeah, I really recommend it. The first one was really, really strong as well. This one, for sure, just takes it up to the next level in a great way. It's its own thing. It's not the same premise at all, but it's so funny because there's certain parts of it that is in this specific one, the second movie, that feels very Last of Us. I will
I
say.
was gonna mention because those trailers are really, really The Last of Us. They
Yeah,
are
there
very much so.
There's a lot of stuff like once you get past the beginning of the movie, you get kind of in the middle towards the end, that feels very, very much like The Last of Us.
Okay,
Uh,
gotta
so
watch it.
I mean, and I mean, it's premise wise, it's its own thing, I mean, it's the sound and all that kind of stuff. It's not like zombies, but but still, it's very nice. Yeah, so I really recommend it. And what's really cool is it actually broke the record, if I'm not mistaken, for pandemic wise box office opening.
Yep.
So that was a pretty big deal to see that people are feeling good to go back to the movies again. And I know AMC is doing very well
Are
for
you
multiple
are,
reasons right
are you
now.
are you riding those dunks, sir?
Oh yeah,
Oh, good.
you
Good for
know
you.
it.
Good for you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, a few months back, I actually grabbed one chair because I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna, wing it, right? It's cheap enough where I was like, you know what? I can spend $10. I'll be fine.
Oh, I didn't. I got it, and it wasn't even $10, man. So I really, really am doing well.
Good, 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 man.
But so hopefully in these next cute couple weeks, these guys can short squeeze it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, that was really good to see that from numbers wise. And I do know that John Krasinski, the writer and director of the movie, it definitely pretty much confirmed that they are doing a third one, especially with the money that it made, pretty much
Cool. Good for
matching
them.
what the first one did. And I think, in my humble opinion, I think that with the word of mouth that just happened this last weekend, I won't be surprised if it has like a very, very strong. I don't even think a 40% drop off is going to happen for this movie in week two, which would be pretty cool to see if that word of mouth keeps spreading. I mean, it was nearly packed in the theater, to be honest with you. And I think had they not had the restrictions, it would have been every single person next to each other. And I was like pretty amazed to see that much of a hype for this movie. I think I saw more people seeing that movie than Cruella, which was interesting because I'm like, I thought that, the Disney
Okay.
movie, but I think the Disney Plus thing obviously has also an effect on that too,
Yeah.
right? So it's not the
Yep.
same. Where this you can only see in the theaters. That's how they promoted it.
Correct.
But yeah, people feeling safe going back to the theaters. So that was
That's
pretty
good.
pretty good response. And obviously we've got um, Black Widow coming up, and it's so funny. I saw a tweet where someone was like, "Hey, by the way, like we're finally gonna have tickets on sale for Black Widow." Like the thought of like we can actually buy tickets for a movie that I've been talking about for how many years
Supposed
now.
to
It's
come
kind
out a
of
year
crazy.
ago.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be pretty exciting to have. But
Fast and
yeah, before
Furious came out, right?
no, that's I think next month, the end of next month.
Okay.
Reviews on that are which not surprising.
That's weird. I saw. I mean, I've seen positive comments about
Okay.
it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think
John
oh
Cena, not The Rock, man. The Rock's not in it, but John Cena is.
yeah, because I that's the thing. Because I heard that overseas, like they were going to they were really banking overseas, and because he came out overseas already. I think that's what it
Right.
is, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And and John Cena had made some comments, and then people didn't go see the movie the way that expected it. He ended up putting like a retraction or apology out there, but Yeah, it's what it is, and I mean, people are gonna go see it here, because
Oh
that's
my
another
goodness.
one. Yeah, and that's another one that's like I'm over the fast. I've been over the Fast and the Furious since the second one, so that's a movie that will definitely get people in the movie theater
Yeah,
because again, like Quiet Place, you cannot sit at home. So
right.
yeah,
And
I'm
Universal is one of those ones that make that deal early. Remember that like they're one of the few companies that have an exclusive deal where their movies have to be shown in the theaters after a certain amount of days, then it can go on streaming because they were afraid of the Disney Plus stuff that was going on and HBO Max stuff.
yeah. Yeah, the HBO Max stuff is wild though. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
the way
same
they
day,
the way they pull it off for,
15
you know,
bucks.
yeah, even if it's for a year, yeah. Cool, good stuff, man. That's good.
Yeah.
Um, finished Resident Evil 7, so that was pretty good. It's pretty good. Um, I'm glad I stuck around because I downloaded. There's a free DLC for it with uh, Chris Redfield, and there was a huge like loose end at the end of the game. I was like, wait, but what the heck happened to? And then that loose end gets uh, gets addressed in that other in that free expansion. I don't think I'm gonna buy the rest of the DLC unless it's like super cheap because it's like
Right.
20. It's like $30 for everything right now. It's like I'm not gonna spend $30 on this right now. So I may just do what you did with Injustice and just watch what happened. uh, so we'll see. But good overall. Again, very good, very positive experience. It's spooky and it's definitely different, but very good overall. Um, Played a ton of Sekiro again. That game is fantastic. I have nothing but positive things to say about that game, even with its difficulty, and I still find the game again, the boss fight's a little bit more challenging than on Bloodborne, but it's like uh, the place to place action in that game is just so good. It is unforgiving. Like the enemies, like three hits and you're done, bro. That's it. It's unforgiving, but it's really really good. Um, Other game that I played a whole bunch of, Joel. It's Super Mario 3D World. Some of you have it.
Oh, okay.
So
Good.
got that for my daughter for her Anna school, and ended up playing a ton of it.
It's
It's
good.
it's really good. So about half hour ago, I want to say about an hour ago, we finished Bowser's Fury, and it was really good. It was really good. So we've been basically mostly playing two player. My daughter's been playing like she's doing her own thing, and I've been helping whenever she gets stuck. But we ended up like Bowser's Fury. We ended up playing like together, and it was great. And it's interesting. Got me thinking, right? Because when I saw Bowser's Fury, I think I made a comment on the podcast. I may have done it, and I said that to me looks like the team playing around with ideas on what to do next, right? And that's
Right.
totally what it is. That's Bowser's Fury, in my opinion, is a demo of what's coming up next. I think it's gonna be like an open world adventure, and you have not necessarily a hub. You start at a place, and you keep unlocking areas that you can go to, and that's probably gonna be the next Mario game. Very good. I enjoyed it. Some a little bit of issues with mobility. I think it's due to basically the move set coming out of 3D World. He'll Mario's a little bit stiffer in that game for some reason versus on like Mario Odyssey where you can do a whole bunch of different
Oh
things
yeah.
and you have a lot more mobility options. So if they do like this type of game with the Mario Odyssey type of like flow, because the flow in Mario Odyssey is so good that it's really really good. So putting those two things together, I think that's going to be the next Mario game, and we'll
Mm,
probably find out about it soon. So
I agree.
yeah,
I agree.
so that was really really good. Um, No, I want to say that I watched something. I did watch something of note. There's a documentary on Netflix called Not a Game, and it's a documentary. It's European mostly, but it's a documentary about how, for some people, video games are more than just a game, and they go over mostly esports stuff. It's like, oh yeah, my kid was a weirdo and he didn't do anything, and then he started playing Fortnite and money. So that sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm making the dumb parent kind of like setup there, but it's they do pick very good stories to tell. It's like, oh yeah, my kid was really into sports, and then he got sick, and he couldn't play sports, so video games, right? And then he played Fortnite, and he went to a tournament. It's like that sort of thing. So it's mostly like that. There's one story that made me cry like a freaking baby. It's of course, it's about a kid that's sick playing video games. You can imagine the outcome of the whole scenario.
Oh
So
boy.
it was brutal, but man, it was really really
Wow.
moving. I was crying like a baby. It's like stupid documentary. Um, it was really good. It's a very very good documentary. Highly recommend it. Very well directed. It's like half English, half Spanish. You can do English subtitles for the whole thing. But they do interview a few people from like Spain, South America. Um, it's very good, very good. So, Not a Game on Netflix. It came out last year, I think late last year. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, it's my pick for the week, I think.
I I definitely love a good documentary, so
Yeah,
I'll check it out, man.
yeah, it's pretty good. Um, Bad Batch. It's getting better. It's, it's getting better. It's you see how Omega is like this is the like the Zelda episode, because it's like, oh, here's a com. You got a com. Oh, you have a bowcaster thing. It's like, it's, yeah. So that was her. This was like her like getting equipment episode. So
Yeah.
we're assuming that this is building up to something more, right? R.I.P. Muchi. We all miss
You
you.
know he don't make it. Yeah.
R.I.P. Muchi.
That
So
is Muchi is not the same Rancor.
yeah, no, dude, Mushi's dead.
No,
Luke
Muchi got eaten by the other
Skywalker.
Rancor. I don't know.
Luke Skywalker killed Mushi. Oh,
No, that's not. It's actually not the same one.
did they say it? Did they
Yeah, they
specify it?
confirmed that's not
They
the same.
confirmed it.
Muchi is not the same
Oh man.
Rancor.
Well, good to know.
So, but
Cause
still, you would have to assume that Muchi doesn't make it if we don't see that. I'm trying to remember the name now, but if you can look it up, but it's a different name of a different Rancor, and they did confirm it's a different one.
okay, I'll
But
look it up.
yeah, I think they did that on purpose because they knew that if it would have been the same one,
It's like, you
that
guys,
for
what
the
are you
kids, like we love Muchi. Wait, what happens?
yeah, he gets squished by a door,
It's-
kid.
Yeah, dude, Dora gets crushing it. Uh, so obviously, like the Bib Fortuna, like is collecting collecting this creature for Jabba.
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's
same actor, same actor from The Mandalorian that did the voice of Bib, that did the Bib Fortuna, and also did the Bib Fortuna for Phantom Menace as well.
oh, okay, okay.
Yep, he's a Lucasfilm sound editor employee or something like that.
Yeah, he has like one line on Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah.
But he does
Does
he does
say
worth.
something? Can't
I
remember.
think he does make uh he wakes up Jabba. He tells something to Jabba so he
Oh,
can
yeah,
wake
yeah,
up when
yeah.
he's asleep. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So he has like one line. Yeah, that's interesting. Um yeah, I'm looking for the Rancor here so I can verify it, because I was gonna name this episode R.I.P. Bucci, but now I know now
I
I
mean,
know
Muji
that
probably still doesn't make it.
yeah, right. We don't know. But it was pretty interesting that they were able to, like, even handle the Rancor. So that was pretty impressive in my opinion. Again, do you see Wrecker? He's chip or something, man. Something's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we were talking. I was saying it's like something's wrong with him, and you said it's like, oh yeah, he's not all there, but he's like, there's something happening. So
Absolutely.
I'm curious to see where that comes. I think that honestly, I think this is how the season's gonna end, man. The Wrecker's gonna flip out because of the ship, and then they're gonna find Rex, and Rex is gonna tell them how to take it out. That's probably what's gonna happen. Uh,
Yeah.
but that Sid character was very interesting. She was like a Jedi informant, like she was feeding information to the Jedi. I think that she might have been the one that fed like General Grievous stuff to Palpatine, like because like as long as you have money, right, she'll feed you
Right.
info, and you can pretend to be a Jedi and feed you information. So, um, I'm wondering if she's gonna come back and if they're going to address that because she seems to be well connected in the
And
galaxy.
she
So
and very clearly at the end, she makes it clear like in order for you to go against this bounty hunter, you're gonna need a lot of money and a lot of friends. And she's
hmm
like, if you want to come do any work for me, you can do any time. So
yep,
that's got to come back to play. You don't just have a character say something like that. Like she obviously knows who they are now. They have a relationship of, working with her to get money and information. So obviously, at the end of the day, right now they're trying to hunt down, Fennec. But
or
yeah,
or trying to get away or figure out why.
why I think
Yeah,
is more the yeah. But I mean, it's like it felt very video gamey, like kind of so like this is the episode where they have to pull off and do a little side quest to get information.
yeah,
So
yeah. It was
fun Star Wars stuff, having the
yeah,
Moochie and all this,
yeah. It was self-contained, which was good. Instead of, I mean, self-contained in the sense that whatever happened there doesn't necessarily impact what's going on in the grand scheme of things, except for Sid, right? She's like the plot device. She's like the plot device from the episode. That's her. Whatever happened, or it's definitely it's tertiary at this point. It's not really relevant. It's fun, but yeah, yeah. It was good. It was good. The last two episodes have been, because that series started like on a like we'll go there,
that
right?
first episode is
And
still the best episode.
yeah, and then it was really flat. The next two episodes were pretty flat, and then the episode before this one was pretty good, and then this one's pretty okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. I know that this
Once the
is
bounty hunter stuff came in, it got better.
yeah, and this is something that Clone Wars suffered from too. It's like, come on, get to the good part. And it's like you start watching a season of Clone Wars and you're like 6 episodes in. It's like, all right, when's the good stuff gonna come? And then the good stuff happens in the last 4 or 5 episodes. So that's probably what's gonna happen here too. So we'll see. It's still enjoyable, it's still fun. When's Loki? That's in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, I want to say that's June the 9th. I think it's next week, Friday.
9th
Or
is Wednesday.
no, sorry, not 9th, Tuesday, probably the 11th, something like that. Yeah, it's something along those lines.
Okay,
I think it's next Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
cool. So
So
yeah,
yeah,
we'll.
we continue our Bad Batch and we get Loki. Oh no, excuse me, Loki's not going to be on. I think it is going to be on Wednesday. Loki's not supposed to be on
I
Fridays.
think so.
Let me confirm this right now.
Oh, there we go on the fly. But yeah, Muchi.
Yeah,
We
June 9th.
hardly
Yep, I was right. June 9th.
Wednesday. Okay,
Yep,
so we
ends
can talk
on
about
July
it.
14th.
Yeah, so we can talk about it next week.
Yes.
So next week we'll have our Loki impressions in another Bad Batch. Also next week, we will have our yearly tradition of of our E3 predictions show, which I think, Joel, not to brag, but we do pretty okay at those predictions, man. I think we
Throw a
do.
dart or get pretty
I
close.
think we do better than most professional gaming podcasts out there, sir. If you don't mind me saying,
I thought you were gonna name names for a
I'm
second.
not gonna name names, sir, but just not to humble brag there. We do pretty okay on those.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in looking forward to E3, come on next week. We'll have our predictions. Following week, we have a full recap. Um, I don't know if we're gonna be able to work around the schedule. We'll go over it.
Yeah.
We may put something on over the weekend because there's stuff happening. So if there's stuff happening, we'll just do like a quick flash video and and tell you guys what's up. But we'll have for sure a full recap next week. Cool. So all right. So basically, before we start going crazy with gaming stuff, Joel, let's talk about Spider-Man once more. Because there are several alleged plot leaks out there, and I am done. I'm not watching any more videos. I am not listening to any more stuff about Spider-Man, and we'll let it play out, I guess. But one of the executive producers from Sony was being interviewed by Variety, and then during the interview, they asked him about the possibility of, the Sony stuff crossing over to the MCU, and the answer was basically we're working on it, or something is in the works, and whatever happens on Far From Home or No Way Home, I'm sorry. It feels like Far From Home came out, or it's coming out. Like, I can't believe that movie came out so long ago, dude. It's like 2020 did not exist, honestly. So whatever happens on No Way Home is going to impact whatever will happen in the Sony universe. But Joel, you're the Spidey guy. You're the guy with the inside knowledge about Spider-Man. What's up?
Yeah, I never for one second believed that Tom Holland Spider-Man would exist separate from any of these other Spider-Man projects that Sony is putting out. So like this confirmation is good to hear. And they're making it clear this is Tom Holland Spider-Man being connected. Like you and I both have already talked before about like Tobey Maguire coming back, Andrew Garfield's coming back, and having them have their own stuff. But regardless of whatever happens with spin-off movies, which like we heard the Craven movie getting announced, and obviously we already have like our Carnage, or Venom movie and Morbius, those kind of things. Like Tom Holland Spider-Man will connect. Like this is not like we'd love to see him show up one day. Like it will connect, and there's clearly storytelling stuff going on. Like I don't want to give them too much credit because they have made mistakes before of just mixing stuff up too much and getting too crazy. But like I've said before on the show, all the stuff that's getting announced now is pretty much stuff that Pascal and Avi Arad had already kind of put up on a board somewhere, and now we're starting to see these things come alive. Just with obviously the MCU stuff being a little bit in mind and the ramifications of all the stuff. So that's why I think you get like a more quality Venom movie now than what you had in 2003, where 2007 with Tobey Maguire and this odd Venom character. Like now, if you have Tom Holland show up with Tom Hardy, it's gonna be more meaningful. It's gonna work a lot better. Obviously, like it's gonna take alternate world traveling to make these things happen. Like we understand these are not happening in the same world, but that does not mean they will not cross over. It's hope for the future. When you watch these movies, they're telling you we promise Spider-Man will be back. The multiverse is going to be huge. They're already making it clear with the Loki stuff. What's going on there is going to be huge. In fact, they used the Loki show to tie into the announcement of that Avengers campus, the grand opening. Like it's an actual timeline, like within the Loki show, like what's going, like where that is. It's crazy to me, dude. Yeah. But I mean, multiverse stuff is going to be played with a lot more than we've ever seen before.
Yeah. Can we talk about the that Avengers campus real quick?
Oh, I'd love to.
Okay. It looks cool. So, it's very interesting to see the very, very, very two different approaches. The one that Disney took here for the Avengers campus, and the one Universal took for Islands of Adventure, where where that's totally MCU, whatever what they're doing at Disneyland, and then uh, the one at Universal is basically comic book, more comic book inspired, I would say. So it's very interesting to see the how different both of them are, and I mean both have their their good stuff. Like because definitely the House of Adventure, the Hulk coaster, it's pretty awesome. The Spider-Man ride's
Yeah.
cool. The Doom Tower Falls is cool. I think the Doom drop, like the inside of the castle, is pretty cool.
Oh, it's cool. Yeah.
So I think that they really pulled it off, and also the queue for Spider-Man, it's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Um, so it's very interesting to see both. Um, do you see anything on the Spider-Man ride though? Any other info they
I
had?
per I purposely didn't watch like a whole walkthrough or anything like that, but I did like I actually had stayed up and watched the in full grand opening premiere video thing that they had
Yeah,
yesterday with everyone on stage and all that. And they had some footage of it, and it's like web slinger training kind of thing. So it's
yeah,
not it's interactive, first of all.
it's
Like you
interactive.
actually get to interact with it, which is really cool. Makes me think of Buzz Lightyear but more modern.
Did you
But
know?
like it's still Spider-Man-esque, which is pretty cool.
Did you know that you have to buy the web shooters separate?
I, dude, like that is such
It's
a
DLC.
ridiculous. It's such a DLC thing, and it's such a Disney thing. Like
Yeah.
trying to make this. Would I buy? Absolutely, I'd be buying
Oh
that thing.
yeah, you
But
will be buying it
like
for
me,
sure.
it's not even a question. But that's just why they do this stuff to make more money, because Disney needs more of our money,
Of
right?
course. Yeah, we need those Marvel movies, man. We need to
Oh
fix Star
man,
Wars, bro. It takes money.
I don't know if Marvel's gonna be the one to do
Well,
that.
Disney will have
I mean,
to
if I could get this
s-
one movie, maybe I don't know.
somehow fix Star Wars. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I'll,
Uh,
I would.
but yeah. I'm curious to see how they're going to address the whole, Craven and the whole thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Now there were more rumors this morning saying that the Lizard's gonna be back from
Yes.
Amazing, so we'll see.
So, so the lineup that I've heard is obviously Goblin, right? Defoe's Goblin, and you get two villains from each era, right? So you got Defoe and you get Doctor Octopus from Maguire universe, right? With Goblin and Octopus. Then you get Electro and
The
excuse me, no,
Lizard,
three characters. Excuse me. You get Sandman, you get Octopus, you get Goblin, then you get Electro,
and Lizard,
Lizard, and then who was the last one? No, no, and then the last one is the Rhino. That Paul Giamatti,
the
or the
Giamatti Rhino.
yeah,
Yeah,
Rhino. So those were
yeah,
that was gonna be the sixth. So this is what I last heard.
yeah. That's
I,
gonna be the six or six. So
yeah.
yeah, man.
I just like
It's
to see that Defoe's Goblin would be like the main villain of this movie. That makes me so
they,
hyped, bro.
bro. They have to do the mask. They have to commit
Yeah,
and do
yeah.
the animatronic mask. They had this is their chance to do it. They have to
Fix it.
commit and do that mask, dude. Because like the like it right the goblin mask that was used in the original movie was acceptable for 2003, but not for today,
Yeah.
dude. You gotta commit. You gotta go full on, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be a CG, like a Davy Jones type of scenario where they just put the dots on the foe's face and he just animates like the goblin. So
Yeah.
yeah, uh, bro. If the rumors for this movie are true,
What if he's back from the dead?
it's like
Like zombie, like he's
zombie.
like that's like so he doesn't even have a mask. Like he looks like absolutely crazy, and he's like going on this thing. I don't know, man.
No, because then I would think like he looks like the goblin from Amazing. He was
Oh
awful.
no! Oh
He
gosh,
was
no!
awful,
Please,
dude.
no.
Who approved that design, dude?
Sony.
Someone at Sony.
Oh
So
gosh.
someone at Sony
How
approved that
can you
design.
put out movies like Into the Spider Verse and like all these award winning stuff, and then they give us this thing, the Emoji Movie? Like I don't know, Sony sometimes they just
They're weird.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Do you see that they
Like the games.
the CEO Kenichiro Yoshida came out and said that they're not for sale. That the studio's not for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because I guess people were like after the MGM stuff, people was like, "Oh, who's buying Sony?" So it's like, "Oh, we're not for sale." So, um,
There have been rumors before.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they do have a lot of pull on TV still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then their studios are state of the art. Like they do have the best cameras, and they do have
Oh yeah.
state of the art like filming facilities and all that. So, and they have a lot of overseas connections.
They've
Like so,
they've won awards.
yeah,
Like it's
man.
they're
Yeah,
not, I think like Little Women was one of the last ones that won awards, stuff like that. Like they do stuff.
yeah. They do really good stuff.
And they give you the emoji movie. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? For every movie in the MCU, we got a John Carter.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
we're
That's
we're
true.
we're good. All right. Joe, something that we forgot to talk about last week, and we'll talk about it real quick because that was something that I was really excited to talk about. um, having gone to Cybertron games last week, and me being able to pick up my lost copy of Virtua Fighter 5 for PS3. The next day after we recorded, they confirmed and announced that indeed
Yeah.
Virtua Fighter 5 is getting a basically it is essentially a remake, uh, because it's sort of a remastered, but the game was rebuilt in a new engine. So it is essentially a remake. If the game needs to be rebuilt from the ground up, it's a remake. If it's touch up in graphics, then it's a remaster. That's you
Mm.
know there we go. But it's free. It's included on the PS Plus games alongside Star Wars Squadrons. So that's a pretty solid lineup, dude. I am very excited. I already downloaded Virtual Fighter. I haven't played it yet. But yesterday I was like, not yesterday, on Tuesday, I was like refreshing the Sony page. It's like, come on, when are you going to be available for me to add? Because I'm doing this. So I downloaded it already. I can't wait to play it. Game's real good. So I'm looking forward to spending some time with it. They do have some really cool DLC where you can change the graphics to like the original Virtua Fighter, and you get like no textures, and it's pretty cool. So I may look into that depending on how depending on how attached I get to the game. I'll look into checking out that DLC. Um, but yeah, that's something that I wanted to bring up because it's pretty good. It's gonna be free for 3 months, I heard. So it's not only going to be for the PS Plus for this month. It's going to be free for 90 days, and then after that is I think it's $20. That's based on what I heard. So yeah, cool. If you have a PlayStation, check it out. It's a really good fighting game. It's it's a little hardcore because it's very I mean, out of all the fighting games, it is the more realistic. I don't want to say it is very realistic, but out of all the fighting games, it is the most grounded and realistic one. So, yeah, it's definitely something worth checking out for. And Star Wars Squadrons, Joel, we didn't have to spend money on that, dude.
Oh my goodness, I was very close to buying it
Yeah,
several times, and I just went, no, I can wait. I'll wait because I mean I've got enough games in my backlog anyway, so I'm like I'll buy it when I'm ready to play it, kind of thing. But
yeah,
free, no
yeah,
better
man.
price than that.
Yeah, man. Free. They never came out with DLC for that, I think, right? I don't recall.
Not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, just wanted to talk about that real quick. Uh, Two big PlayStation announcements here, or I guess one big announcement and then one big reveal. We had our first look at gameplay for Horizon Forbidden West. Absolutely stunning. It's Horizon, right? It looks very very nice. They confirmed today that PS5 does have a 60 FPS mode because the video they showed was at 30. So people were like, well, what about the 60 and then no, next gen? So they did confirm today that they do have a performance mode.
Okay.
And if it's anything like the performance mode in Spider-Man, then it's gonna be fine because that ray tracing performance mode, it's probably the best gaming experience I've ever had. It's so smooth, man.
Insane.
Yeah, yeah. It's worth it just to take the. You don't even take a hit in graphics. Like you can. There's details right that get lost, but just the smoothness of the gameplay, it just makes it worth it. So yeah, very good stuff. Very very good stuff, Joel. This game looks phenomenal. Definitely looking forward to picking it up. Hopefully later this year. I don't know. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But I mean, really like what I saw again. If you didn't play the first Horizon again, go back and play it, Joel. um, because there's definitely story bits that connect to the old game here. Like there's stuff that you need to know. I guess sorta right. Like the dude she's saving, and the thing with the spear, right? Because that's that the spear that she has on this sequel. It's a MacGuffin of sorts, I guess. On the first game, so uh, that definitely would help out to if you played the first one. But overall, Joel, what are your impressions before we go into a little bit of controversy here?
I know. I was gonna say before we get into the spicy stuff. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I think it was about 20 minutes, 19 minutes, whatever that they showed us of gameplay. Um, I transparently have not played the first one yet. Still have it on my library. Another good one I got for free recently, so
Yep.
that's pretty good. I will make sure to play the first one before I play the second. That's a must. No, I loved what we saw. I know that they had said that that was natively shown on PS5. That what they were showing us at that experience demo. And so what? Yeah, like I could see where people would get a little like, hey, hold on a second, this is in 30 frames, and you're saying this is live on PS5. Like, what's going on here? Glad that they came out with the clarification. That didn't surprise me, but
Yeah.
it's nice that they're ensuring us that we're gonna have a very optimal experience. I mean, you I think had said that in your, if I remember right, you had said that this was the most beautiful game. The first one, excuse me, was the most beautiful game on PS4 last generation. If you'd said something along those lines,
Up.
that I remember in the
Yeah.
past.
Up until Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Like Ghost takes it. Like
okay,
yeah, Ghost takes it.
right.
Yeah, but up until like Ghost, like God of War looks very nice, right?
Yes.
It. I mean, it looks better than nice. Like God of War looks real good. Um,
Spider-Man PS4 looks really good on PS4 as well.
I could imagine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing with Horizon was like God of War. Um, it was a smaller, more self-contained world versus Horizon, where you can just climb a mountain and you look down and you see this crazy vistas and these views, and it was just incredible. So yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it's very good. And it looks like the second one's not gonna disappoint because it looks fantastic. Yeah. They did confirm too that the lighting engine is different on PS5, and like the underwater like rendering is different. So those parts are definitely different. Of course, you're gonna get the resolution and the frame rate hit on PS4. So I mean, I wouldn't expect this game to run. I would expect this game to run like Ghost of Tsushima, which is like acceptable. So
Yeah. Yeah.
basically, yeah. So that's what I would expect of this game. Yeah, Ghost is really good. Gotta play that too.
Gotta play that one too.
Um, so yeah, exciting. I'm hoping that they can pull it off this year. Little bit of controversy, Joe. We don't usually go into this sort of thing,
Yeah.
right? But we're not gonna name names. We're not gonna say who tweeted what and whatnot, right? But there was a tweet going around over the weekend after the gameplay stuff came out, saying that the Aloy didn't look feminine, and there was a picture of what Aloy looks like, which is also a very unflattering picture. It's like a weird angle too, and then
Sure.
and then a picture of Aloy with like a makeup filter, with like an Instagram makeup filter, and it looks ridiculous. It's like, first of all, I mean, not no, I'm trying not to. I'm gonna dance around spoilers here for a second. It's like, how would, I mean, we're in past the apocalypse. Why would there be makeup? Like, how, right? I mean, war paint, sure, but not makeup. It's the first thing, right? When it goes to like the features of Aloy, like nothing really, like, dude, I was this is the whole, this is the to me, this was the whole Rogue One thing all over again. When Rogue
Yeah.
One released the trailer, right? And I watched the trailer, I was like, oh my god, this looks great. And then you get people saying, oh, it's a female lead. And I didn't even realize it. Like, I watched the trailer and I enjoyed it. It's like, I didn't even realize it because I see her as a person, right? It's like,
That is
I
true.
don't care. It's just a person. Just moving
Ovid
along
don't
the
care.
plot. I don't care. Um, but the thing with Aloy is a little ridiculous. It's like, oh, I mean, you can't expect her to look like a supermodel in the apocalypse, right? I mean, you got games like that. You got, okay. I'm going to make the most, I guess, acceptable example, and she's not even human. Is 2B from Nier Automata.
Right.
You know, there's your supermodel, right?
Yeah.
She's not even human. It's like, come on. And this is like, yeah, this is like post apocalypse on Nier, but she's not a human, so yeah, of course she's gonna look like that. So
Artificial.
exactly. So the whole thing, it's stupid, right? To me, the guy's trolling, right? And he got the, I think he was shooting for a reaction, and he got exactly what he wanted. So he pulled it off. Whatever he was planning, he pulled it off. I mean, yeah, I disagree. But I take it as a troll, and I don't take it seriously, right? But it's, yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic game where you can't expect that. It's like, oh yeah, it's like the world's coming to an end. What should we do? Oh, we should put all of our reserves of makeup in a vault underground so people in the future can look pretty. No, doesn't work like that. But what are your 2 cents, Joe?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think you nailed it right away. It's totally trolling. And like the whole idea of, in my opinion, like, someone trying to argue about, like, she's basically you can interpret it as like she's not pretty enough. Like, if feminine would be more pretty, it's almost like the way it can come across. Because, like, if you're saying that, like, if a woman doesn't have a certain, you know, appearance, that's not feminine. Femininity is not about being pretty. So you probably didn't grow up with sisters or anything like that, because have you spoken to a woman? Like, I don't know. You need to get out of the cave, man. So I'm just,
You
I,
did it. I didn't
I
want to
did
do
it,
it.
man. I held back, but I mean, it's, to be honest, when you're making these kind of comments, you're just sexualizing the character. You're not saying, okay, the character looks a little odd. Like, this isn't like, okay, what's the name of this dude in Halo, that, like, the creature or whatever, that, like, looks really bad, right? Like, okay, that's a totally different, like, argument when you're like, hey, it just doesn't look good. Something about it just doesn't look right.
Like the
But,
elite. Oh, the brute. You mean the brute from
Brute,
the? Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like, that's fair game. Like, that's fine,
Yeah.
right? But, like, you're like, she's not. Like, that's ridiculous. I'm not even gonna waste any more
She
energy.
looked
Like,
great. If anything, dude, when I saw the gameplay reveal, it's like, well, the facial animation and looks way better. That's the thing I thought, right?
and you played the first, so yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's
Uh,
just, it was just trolling, and people fell for it, and you guys are dumb for falling
Yeah,
for
poke
it.
the bear, and I'm not. Yeah,
No.
like, I'm not even
This
wasting
guy
my
got
time
the
doing
exact response he wanted, and he's on
Absolutely.
every gaming site and being retweeted and responded a billion times. So he got exactly what he wanted. He knew exactly what he was doing. That's
Absolutely.
we'll just
Troll.
say that. But yeah, looking forward to that game. I'm hoping that it doesn't get delayed, like God of War
Oh,
and
even
Gran
more spiciness.
Turismo and Gran Turismo.
Oh,
So, like, I could totally see this coming. I am not surprised at all. Right? They said 2021. It's like this game is not coming this year. This game's like there's no way, right? And of course, it got announced 2 days ago that the game's getting delayed. It also got announced that the game is coming out on PS4. So some people are being concerned about that. I'm not, because if God of War for PS4 is any indication, yeah, this game's gonna be fantastic. So I don't see. I definitely see the business reasoning behind it, right? Because you have 110, 15 million PS4s out there with active users. You have 15 million PS5s or something like that they said that they've already sold. Um, come on, it's like you're not gonna lose on potentially hundreds of millions of dollars. That's why. Why would you do that, right? So, to anyone critiquing that, you've never owned a business. So, and the part where it's getting delayed, right? It's, I mean, it is what it is. It's getting delayed. Things are different now. Until things get back to normal, expect delays. King of Fighters got delayed too this week. They announced it on yesterday morning. The King of Fighters 15 is getting delayed to next year. So, and then we've already seen it like this year. Like Guilty Gear got delayed. We'd still get delayed. Dude, Halo's not coming out this year. I guarantee it.
I don't think so either.
Halo
I
is
agree.
not, you want an early E3 prediction? Halo is not coming out in 2021. It's my early E3 prediction.
I might have to clip that.
Oh, clip it, and I'll eat crow if I missed that one. But yeah,
Well, I think I'll wait to see what happens and let it be a nice.
oh, do
I think you're
the
right. I think you're right. Yeah,
do like what we did last year for the reveal.
exactly. It's only a
This
matter of time, my
Yeah.
friend.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yep.
I'm up for it. So Gran Turismo 7. That one's a little bit of a different story. What we've heard out there, right? Because this game was announced as a PS5 exclusive. Like God of War, they showed us a logo. They didn't say anything else, right? It could have potentially been cross-gen, totally fine, whatever, right? Um, the thing with Gran Turismo is that Gran Turismo was announced as a PS5 exclusive. So now they're saying that the game's getting delayed and it's no longer a PS5 exclusive. Is also coming to PS4. Now, what I've also heard on top of that is that the game primarily was being developed for PS5, but because of like, yo, we're gonna lose money, just by doing PS5 stuff. We still need to feed this other, 80 million people, 100 million people that have not been able to get a PS5. We need to get a game. So basically, what they're doing is that they are doing a separate, like PS5 thing, and after that's done, they're downgrading it to PS4. So that one's a little bit of a different scenario. Um, we haven't seen anything on God of War, so I don't know how that's going. But Gran Turismo, since we already saw a little bit of it, um, like a downport is probably easier to do in that case because you have less trees and less lighting, and you can, still run at 1080 60 on a PS4. So I really don't see the big deal on that one. GT5, and I get it, right? People are upset. It's like, oh, but you advertise it as an exclusive, and now it's going to come to the last gen. It's expect this for the next 2 years, basically. Like this thing is like, there's not enough consoles for everyone. There's shortages. There's delays and pipelines and all this. The next 2 years, are gonna be like delay after delay. But I don't know if you have anything else to add, sir.
Well, you hit all the other details right on. I won't say anything there, but I will add to what you've said and say at this moment in time, this is not an indictment. It's just a matter of fact. If you don't have a PS5, you don't need one right now. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And I mean, I that's not me saying anything negative against it. I have it. I'm happy. I have no regrets. I'm a happy PS5 owner. I think people should get a PS5, but should get and need to get are two very different things. And my point being is like if you're in a situation where you feel like, oh man, I keep trying and I'm not getting it, keep trying. That's fine. But don't be butthurt because honestly, you really don't. No one needs to have a PS5 right now at this moment with the way things are. As long as you're a PS4 owner, you'll be just fine, and that's okay. Like that's like you said, as a business, like they've got to do this. It's just, I mean, why isolate the community? And it's not like people, wouldn't buy their games if it was a PS5 game. It's just they literally can't because they literally cannot get a console, not because of them not wanting to have it, but just the options are so limited. And this is going to be a problem for a while, not
Yeah.
because of Sony's fault or anything. It's just what the world that we live in at the moment. Things are changing, and we'll get back on track, and it's just going to take time to get there. So be patient. I gotta say, like, you just, it's a bold statement, but you do not need a PS5 right now, but keep trying to get one.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that statement. Like if you have a PS4, keep shooting to get that PS5, right?
Right.
If you have the means, right?
Right.
Um, but at the same time, you may be missing on, uh, you know, load times and frame rate. I mean, those are the two great things, though. I mean,
Dual
that's
sense.
hmm, Joel. So you're asking me to enjoy a burger with just meat on it, no
Mm,
condiments.
okay.
Hmm. Nah. Yeah. It's just still a burger. I still eat it. Uh, so yeah. I mean, when it comes to like again, if you have the means, of course, go for it. Um, if you have a four or pro, if you have a pro, honestly, buy yourself a 1 terabyte SSD and upgrade that hard drive and just ride the wave until until you can't
Yeah,
ride
just
it.
wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, honestly, if you have a pro, that's probably what you should do right now. Um,
Yeah.
and see, wait it out and see what happens. But yep, we'll see. We'll come back to those, I guess. Hopefully, we can see some God of War soon. I heard Sony's planning a separate like state of play event
Yes.
like after E3, like, I think the 28th or something like that.
Yeah, I heard the rumors.
So yeah, we'll see about that. Uh, Joe, lastly, something that you can expect us to go over next week, but we're going to talk about it this week, and then next week we'll go about predictions because we'll come back to this list again. But the official E3 schedule has been released. And let's just go over a few things that are happening. So basically, all the pre-shows are gonna start on Saturday. Um, Ubisoft and Gearbox Entertainment will hold their press conference on Saturday, June 12th. Um, Ubisoft is at 12 p.m., 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. our time, 12 p.m. Pacific, and in Gearbox will be at. I don't see the time for that. Sunday, June 13th, which I think would be the bigger day. Um,
Yeah.
we got Xbox and Bethesda, so that's been combined. That press conference, because it used to be like Bethesda. It used to be Microsoft in the afternoon, right, and then Bethesda at night, something like that. So now they're having of course, since Microsoft acquired Bethesda, they're just gonna do their own big thing. Expect to see PS5 games during this press conference. That's a prediction that I have. I got a second one. There you
Okay.
go. There you go. Okay, we'll
Okay.
talk about that. So that's gonna happen at 1 p.m. and definitely looking forward to that. That's gonna be an interesting one for sure. 3:15 Square Enix. Really looking forward to that. On Monday, we will get Capcom, Take Two, Mythical Games, Freedom Games, Razer, and some indie announcements. No times on those. Interesting. Okay. And then the final day, we'll have Nintendo coming in at noon. They already announced that it's going to be a 40-minute event. Expect to see the Switch Pro or Super Switch anytime now, because
Yes.
I don't think the reveal is going to happen during this presentation. It's going to happen either tomorrow or sometime next week. So so that's going to happen before, and
It's imminent.
it's imminent. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, if the rumors are true and it's a replacement to the original version of the Switch for the same price, that would definitely make perfect sense and really appealing, really appealing.
Yeah.
So definitely keep an eye out for that. And then Bandai and Namco are going to have their event that day as well. And then Thursday, July 22nd, that's when we'll have the EA Play Live. So EA Play Live was usually around the time of E3. It was a separate event, but they're doing it later this year. And of course, like I mentioned before, Sony is I guess the 28th is the date that I heard. I could be wrong. So yeah, that's pretty exciting, Joel.
Yeah, we can't get into it much now. This is gonna be next week. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a great episode next week. Yeah, I've got some thoughts on it. You got some thoughts. So I look forward to getting into it with you, my friend.
Yeah, definitely come back next week if you. That's just a preview of next week.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know if I want to keep score on the predictions, but yeah, like I said, we usually do pretty good at those. So come ready, and you can judge us the following week. It's like you guys know none, so you can do that the following week. Anyway, Joe, that's all I got. I don't know if you have anything else, but if you don't, let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Absolutely. Good people of No Load Time. Thanks for sticking with us. We invite you to stay subscribed to our podcast. We're on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, on all these podcast platforms. Make sure you find us on your preferred platform and subscribe. We also encourage you to subscribe to our video version on our YouTube channel. If you are watching us on Facebook Live, thank you so much for being here with us. We also encourage you all to follow us on our social medias. So, obviously, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. Also, we would love to hear from you if you have any questions, feedback. We'd love to hear from you, and maybe we'll even talk about it here on the show. So send us an email to no load time at gmail.com. That's no load time at gmail.com. Maybe it's a partnership opportunity, whatever it might be. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you all very much for sticking with us, and we'll see you on our next episode, which is going to be very, very special.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.